right. Make sure. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Diamond Zone. We're going to get into some good information today. What I want to talk about today is really, I don't know if a lot of you saw that that video that I posted, but I want to stay on that same theme about really, understanding what everybody has to offer when you talk to people. And Fran, I might ask you at the end to maybe come on and talk a little bit about the trade show that you did. If you would, just use your chat button and see if that's okay. But I think that would be some valuable information too, because I know there's some people that people always ask me, hey, Jeff, does advertising work? Jeff, do trade shows work? Jeff, does this work? Okay, yes, perfect. Okay, and my answer is always, everything works. As long as you're in front of people, everything works. But a lot of you understand now a little bit about my style, and I'm a firm believer. I'm a firm believer that if you know the answers to the test, it's easier to navigate. Because what we do every day is we navigate through people's fears and doubts. That's what we do. And we understand now a little bit that the vehicle that we have to allow people to change their financial situation is called Helo. And we all know that because it's a category creator product, we know we have something that people will at least look at. And that's half the battle. People say, why is the conversion rate so high here? Well, it's not because we're any better than anybody else. We just have something that people will at least look at, where most people won't even look at the information. And all we have to do is be really good at giving people information. But you have to understand, okay, that a lot of people go through struggles. And I want to open with this excerpt from Napoleon Hill. And I want to read this to you, because this really then, you know what it does? After you understand where most people, now where they're at, it doesn't affect you, because so many people take rejection personally. And it has nothing to do with you, the rejection. And I'll get into that in a second. But you got to remember something. This was written in 1932. So in other words, people haven't changed. So just listen to the words and just understand and see if this may apply to some of you. The majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. They permit the newspapers and the gossiping neighbors to do the thinking for them. Opinions are the cheapest commodities on earth. Everyone has a flock of opinions ready to be wished upon anyone who will accept them. If you are influenced by opinions when you reach your decision, you will not succeed in any undertaking, much less in that of transmuting your own desire into money. If you are influenced by the opinions of others, you will have no desire of your own. Okay, now, just think about that. What did I say yesterday? The day you stop caring what other people think is the day you're on your path to get wealthy. But everybody's listening to everybody's opinions. And sometimes people say, well, Jeff, sometimes you're harsh. Because my logic is, I don't really care what they have to say. They need to care what I have to say. Because I'm somebody now that knows where they're going. And what everybody here has to do is people have to know that you know where you're going. And when people know where you're going and you're excited about your journey, this is when people will follow you. Listen to this now, close friends and relatives, while not meaning to do so. That's one thing I might contradict here. While not meaning to do so, often handicap one through opinions and sometimes through ridicule, which is meant to be humorous. Thousands of men and women carry inferiority complexes with them all through life because some well-meaning but ignorant person destroyed their confidence through opinion or ridicule. You have a brain and mind of your own. Use it and reach your own decisions. If you need facts or information from other people to enable you to reach decisions, as you probably will in many instances, acquire these facts or secure the information you need quietly without disclosing your purpose. This is 1932. This is a book called Think and Grow Rich. Another book you should get. If you haven't read Think and Grow Rich, okay, now watch this one. It is a characteristic of people who have but a smattering or veneer of knowledge to try to give the impression that they have much knowledge. Sound familiar? All the broke people you talk to have all the answers. Isn't it amazing? Okay, all the broke people have all the answers. And they're trying to let you know that you're crazy. This is not, I'm just doing this off the cuff. This is not in here, okay, right? How many people you talk to, you know need a financial opportunity, and they're looking at you like you're nuts because you've changed direction, because you're maybe trying something different. Such people generally do too much talking and too little listening. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed. Can I stop right here for 1 second? Big problem in this business is a lot of people talk too much. Take this the right way. I've had numerous conversations because I'm doing a lot of three-way calls. And after a three-way call, okay, I hear that after I get on a call, there's people that will continue to talk for an hour and a half afterwards. That's not the purpose of a three-way call. A lot of people think the more information I give, the better results I'm going to receive. And that is absolutely false. Less is best. This is not about giving everybody everything they need to be completely educated on the industry of multi-level, about the construction of the helo, how it works. Okay, it's about listening to where people are at and giving them bite-sized things that they need to do, and you give them those things as they need them. They don't need the kitchen sink in order to make a decision. And this is advice a lot of new people need to hear. This is nothing bad. It's just what it is. Because I went through it. I thought I had to give everybody every bit of information before they made a decision. It's not the fact. And the best learning curve for all of you is to do three-way calls. Because on a three-way call, you're going to hear people give direction. Right? That's what the purpose of a three-way call is. Give people direction, insert the expert, so the expert can do very little talking. If you put me on a three-way call, there's not really much there. There's direction to see if they're willing to do what I'm telling them to do. And some people go, oh my gosh, okay, don't you want to caress them? Listen, I'll listen, but you have to have a posture that you have the greatest opportunity in the world. And if you want part of this, here's the first step. Remember my other thing I always say, tell people what to do and see if they do it? If they fight you there, guess what they're going to do when they get involved? Are you kidding me? They're going to fight you every step of the way. And this is how but you got to understand where people are at. Okay, now where was I? Okay. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed. If you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision, I'm going to say that one more time. Keep your eyes and ears wide open and your mouth closed if you wish to acquire the habit of prompt decision. Those who talk too much do little else. Those who talk too much, this is 1932, isn't this funny? Do little else. If you talk more than you listen, you not only deprive yourself of many opportunities to accumulate useful knowledge, but you also disclose your plans and purposes to people who will take great delight in defeating you because they envy you. In other words, when you represent yourself as change, right? When you insert yourself, I'm Mr. Change, I'm here and I'm offering you an opportunity, right? What happens is it puts the mirror on them. Okay, and a lot of people just don't like to look in the mirror, because if they really looked at the mirror, whether it be like someone who's overweight and you give them a mirror, they don't want to see it. They know where they're at. Well, it's the same thing you do when you put the mirror and you show them their situation. They've lived in that situation. They know it. But see, here's the whole thing. Okay, a lot of people just don't want to change. That's okay. That's okay. And like I said, you're not married to the end result. You're married to the action. It's up to them to accept or deny. And if you just remove yourself from that and you have fun with it, okay, then this becomes more of a game. That's what this has to become. And see who accepts and wants to play. Right? So this is the whole idea. Now, watch this. Remember also that every time you open your mouth in the presence of a person who has an abundance of knowledge, you display to that person your exact stock of knowledge or your lack of it. Genuine wisdom is usually learned through modesty and silence. Doesn't it always go back to listening? Is that amazing? What do you learn if you're always talking? I want to learn everything about the person by just listening. And I'll learn a lot just by asking some simple questions. And this is not the flop training. Okay, we've done that before. Now watch this. Keep in mind the fact that every person with whom you associate is, like yourself, seeking the opportunity to accumulate money. This is an assumption. Think about this. Who wouldn't want the benefits that this opportunity gives you? Now, I'm going to put this up again today because I want you to understand who wouldn't want something on that globe. Keep in mind the fact that every person with whom you associate is, like yourself, seeking the opportunity to accumulate money. This is Napoleon Hill, 1932. If you talk about your plans too freely, you may be surprised when you learn that some other person has beaten you to the goal by putting into action ahead of you the plans of which you talked unwisely. Now, you see how they create urgency here? If everybody wants to accumulate more money and we have an opportunity and other people have that same opportunity, right? Then now it's just a matter of how many people am I going to talk to? Let one of your first decisions be to keep a closed mouth and open ears and eyes. As a reminder to yourself to follow this advice, it will be helpful if you copy the following epigram in large letters and place it where you will see it daily. Tell the world what you intend to do, but first show it. And I put, don't tell me what you're going to do, tell me what you did. Now, tell me this doesn't hit some of you. In other words, it doesn't make a difference if people accept your opportunity or not. You know where they're at. But see, here's where I was at. Okay, I thought all I knew, I knew all I knew was all I knew. Right? All I knew was health clubs. But so when someone shared with me an opportunity, Lisa, okay, and I saw her doing something different, it scared me to death. And automatically I say, no. But Lisa, who was a leader, okay, didn't try to convince me to do this with her. She just went on her journey to show me the results. People say, well, I don't know. My spouse. Listen, you want your spouse to come running, make money. Watch how fast they come running when you make money. Someone's got to be the leader. So I just thought this was interesting, guys. Okay, as far as this excerpt from Napoleon Hill, I do recommend. Okay, you guys buy that book. Another book that you should get along with what I tell you, Outwitting the Devil. Wait, am I on still? Yeah, okay. Can you guys see that? Bill, I could see you. Shake your head. Can you see my screen? Bill, can you see my screen? Okay, hang on. Yes, okay. Now, this is another thing, guys. This is not a book thing today, but I want you, hang on. I hope I didn't lose everybody. Did I? Hang on. I'm seeing. I know you're here, but I want to be able to see. I want you to see this. All right. Perfect. Okay. I keep clicking out of it. Okay. This is another great book, and I want to touch on this. The Four Agreements. Okay. Now, here's the thing, guys. We just came off of a 2-week pay cycle, right? And now we're starting a brand new week. But understand that everything we do, trade shows, right? Meetings, one-on-ones. I'm a firm believer that you need to talk your talk and walk your walk. So the 4 agreements, one of the 4 agreements is be impeccable with your word, right? Speak with integrity. Speak from your heart when you talk to people. Don't speak in a clerical manner about how Hilo works or where it comes from and all this other stuff. Just speak from your heart on why you're doing this. I just want to share with you just what draws people to you. Okay, now, here's the other thing. Say what you mean. And sometimes, when I say what I mean, maybe someone takes it a little bit out of context. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I'm always going to say what I mean. Because I'm not here, right, to try to make something that it's not. Okay, this is a business, right? I had a 3-way call last night, and the person once again said I had not had results in network marketing. And you guys know what sometimes I always say. Okay, I said, well, what did you do there? Not much. I said, well, if you do what you did here, you won't get much results here either. That person didn't really like that. But my point was, I said to the person, I said, if you're willing to do things outside, because if you keep doing what you're doing, so-and-so, you'll keep getting the same results. And the reason you're going to want me as part of your upline is because I'm going to be a good guide for you to take a different journey so you get the results you want to get. Now, some people may say, well, that's a little bit too forward. No, I want to sponsor correctly. I'm not interested in just getting somebody's package. Are you? Oh, I got somebody who bought a family pack. So what? What's he going to do with the family pack? And I want people to know, okay, that they're getting involved with somebody that is serious about building this business. And because of this relationship, it's going to better my chances to get similar results. And the way I'm going to do that is to always say what I mean. I won't candy coat it. And I want you guys to be the same way. But remember, you do it by keeping open eyes and open ears. A lot of us were in the mode, and you should be, in just, I'm going to recruit and recruit. You should be in that mode. Let us retain. Let us sift through what you're bringing to the table to find the people that want to do the right things. And the only way you find the people to do the right things is you have to say what you mean and give direction. And don't be afraid. Okay, sometimes it's the blind leading the blind in multi-level. This is another conversation I had last night. See, I learn a lot from three-way calls. This is what prompts these types of trainings. Because I probably did 7 yesterday. Okay, 7. And one of the three-way calls that I did, the person said, well, who's going to be my sponsor? I said, well, it's going to be so-and-so. So-and-so who's on the phone with us. And the person said, well, I've asked so-and-so now for an hour and a half. Remember the person I hung up the phone with and they continue to talk for an hour and a half? I asked so-and-so all kinds of questions. She doesn't have the answers. And so I said, no, the person's not going to have the answers. They're just as new as you. And the prospect said, well, when this person gets all the answers, she could guide me. What? She's new. She's going to learn because I'm going to be working with both of you. You see, he was the one trying to give the direction, and I had to correct him and say, that's not how this works, dude. The reason why you should be excited is because she's reaching up because she's brand new. But see, I'm always going to tell people not what they need to hear. I'm sorry, not what they want to hear, what they need to hear. Because this is how I'm going to find people that I want to work with. Does this make sense, guys? This is the stuff. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or gossip about others. Okay, this is in the book, The 4 Agreements. Now, how does that apply here? Listen, guys, all distractions are equal. That's all I'll say. If this is not something that's going to move people further, right, into achieving their goals, I'm not interested in it. We all know that not everything at World is perfect. But to take that information and you start telling your downline, right, that everything isn't perfect, you want to destroy your organization? There you go. Let me tell you the rule in network marketing. Okay, bad news, okay, never goes down. Bad news goes up. Who's up? I'm up right now. I'm up without ever you. You have bad news, you want to vent, you go up. You never vent to your organization. That's like shooting yourself in the head because they're full of fear or doubt anyway. Now, here's the leader, right, telling people that not everything is perfect or whatever the gossip is. Remember, this is Diamond Zone training, right? These are things that people have to know. But this is how some people self-sabotage their own business. It's crazy because it's something to talk about. Okay, now, I'm not saying all that because obviously in any business, you're going to have issues. Just make sure that if you have an issue, you go up with it. Hopefully you guys know what that means, right? Now, number 2, don't take anything personally. Here's a big one. This is a killer in multi-level. Nothing others do is because of you. That even rhymes. Nothing others do is because of you. Don't think it has anything to do with you. It's all about where they're at in their life, right? What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own or lack of dreams. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality and their own lack of dreams. Remember, you're representing change to people. And we know change doesn't always mean success, but success always means change. So when you can't even see, right? When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Guys, this is the killer in our industry. This is a killer because you're buying into where they're at, right? And then that's affecting you and your decision. That's why I always go back to one. Always tell people what they need to do and work with the people that do it, right? We've thrown this out to a lot of people. How many people on the call? 34, right? There could be 134 on the call easily, but there's 34. Do you think I'm sitting here and Lisa after this call are going to go back and go, let's look at everybody that wasn't on the call? Now we worry about all the people that don't do it. It's crazy. You know how many times in our other opportunity, right, we would have a meeting? Seriously, we would have a meeting at a hotel or at our training center, right? And you'd see the distributors pacing back and forth, waiting for their guests, looking at the parking lot, looking at their watch, right? And these are people that had 3 people there. They had 3 out of the 7 that were supposed to show up. 3 out of the 7 showed up. They weren't worried about the 3 that showed up. They were worried about the 4 that didn't. It's crazy. And I would say, wait a minute, why don't you go talk to the people that are here? Isn't it amazing how we do things? Well, it's the same thing here. Okay, it's not about all the people that aren't doing it. I care about you all. That's why I'm up every morning at 6, because I care about you, because you're making the step. Remember, I come 50% of the way, you come 50% of the way. Well, here's my 50%. And the ones that don't want to come the 50%, I don't care. It makes no difference to me. See, this is how you run a company. You don't worry about everybody else. So when you're not listening to where other people are at, okay, once they get involved, it's all about you giving direction. That's all it is. Don't make assumptions, okay? Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. 3-way call. Watch how questions are asked to see what you really have. Now, this cuts both ways. It cuts the first way of getting people into your business, right? That's simple. Give them direction, see if they do it. How many times you see me do a presentation? Step 1, what package are you going to choose? Family pack, great. Here's my website, click it, and when you make your decision, I'm going to get a ding. And when I get a ding on my phone, I know you're in. Now the work starts. That's the first phase. Here's the second phase. Once they get involved, now you got to give them certain things to do, right? And this is what I want to teach everybody how to do. That's why if you're on these calls all the time, you see how people give direction. I'm very clear with my direction. Because if they're not willing to do those simple things, what's going to happen? Are they going to really build a business? No. Here we go back to wherever they go, there they are. Well, if where they were didn't get them to where they wanted to go, and now they're with you, you got to change some habits. And maybe some of you need to change some habits. That's okay. That's part of the journey. That's part of the curve that we'll all have to go through in anything. And when you understand it, you go, oh, this is just part of the journey. Oh, there's another no. Oh, there's another person that quits. Oh, here's a good one. This is where it becomes rewarding. Listen, if everybody did everything perfectly, okay, and it was just like, oh, here's another one, became a Grand President Diamond. Oh, here's another one. Here's another Grand President Diamond. Do you think that would be fun? No, not for very long. No, it's about finding the gold. I'm looking for the gold. That's why we're up every morning. We're looking for the gold. We're looking for the people that want to do the necessary things and want to persevere through. Okay? So don't make assumptions. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and drama. I don't like drama. Believe me, people want to tell this three-way call. This person wanted to tell me everything about everything. Okay, the person was all about drama. And I listened for a while, right? But I'm not doing a three-way call, okay, to stay on the phone for an hour and 45 minutes. Okay, that's not the purpose. The purpose is to share with somebody what we're doing and how we're doing it. So when you look at this business, right, when you look at it, what does it say here? With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. I really believe that. Don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions. He will, he won't. She will, she won't. All you could do is give direction. And then, I love the fourth agreement, just do your best. Now, your best could change from day to day, as you know, right? Because obviously sickness could come into this, right? Things that may come in play, but always do your best. What does it say? Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you're healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. Now, tell me those four agreements aren't great. Okay, that's another book you should get. Okay, this one's an easy read. But man, it really, when you take this multi-level marketing journey and then you start reading, okay, all these self-development books, you just see how it just fits so nicely. Why? Because they all have one thing in common. Every person that reads these types of books have all one thing in common. We're dealing with people. And when you deal with people, you deal with people's stuff. And as I've said many times, the more problems you have, the more money you make. Because your job is to help them solve the problems. But you can't help somebody solve a problem they don't want to solve. Don't get caught up in that road. Damn it, I'm going to make sure no, they either want to solve it or they don't. And you can't use your energy on somebody who doesn't want to change. Okay, you want to help people that want to help themselves. Otherwise, they're going to drag you down to where they are. And that's when they take delight when we all fail together. Believe it, that's real. See, I told you it wasn't going to work. The name of the book is The Four Agreements. That's the name of the book. Okay, so get that, guys. Now, just to close up before I bring up Fran, okay, I just want to put this back up here again because I've been talking about this a lot. Because I want you guys to understand what you have to offer people. Okay, I want this. Everybody should take a picture of this when everything is up here. Just take a picture because I want you to understand what you really are offering people. And that's why I did that little short video yesterday, because so many people are talking about the Helo and how it works and how does the breath rate work. And I don't understand how they're going to be able to do this blood glucose thing without pricking the skin. I don't either. How many times I've heard this 10? I just don't understand. How's it going to really work? You know what I always say? I don't know. Because I don't. I mean, how many times you guys have heard this thing over and over again? Okay, but they say it, I don't know. But I don't go down that road. Let me tell you, okay, what we're doing. We're giving you an opportunity to own your own business. Look at the bullet points. You have to understand how to match what's on the screen to the people you're talking to. You have an opportunity to help people earn immediate income, right? Earn money now. Thinking about people who want to maybe supplement, cover a car payment, a mortgage payment, a child's tuition. And yes, we could show people any business plan. One of the questions I ask when I'm on a three-way call is, let me ask you, what amount of money would make a difference for you on a monthly basis without quitting your day job? I want to find out where they're at. Oh, Jeff, here's one guy that yesterday, if I could just make an extra $700 a month. You know what I said? I go, why such a specific number? Usually people say 1,000, 2,000, 700. He says, that's my 2 car payments. Because I want to know, because now, think about this. It's not about showing people how to get wealthy. It's not about helping people get with. For him, it's $700 a month. What is that? $175 a week? $350, yeah. $175 a week. So can I not show him and sit down and show him with the dual team making 20% how to make $175 a week? And so when he gave me that number, I know what I'm working with. And that's a realistic expectation. I said, now once we make that, now obviously what would be your next goal? He said, well, then I would love my wife to stop working. Okay, and I said, what's that number? Here's a person working 40 hours. You know what he said? $1,800 a month. Working 40 hours a week. So now what am I up to? $2,500 a month? And I said, one more. What's your next goal? Replace my income. I said, what's that? He said, I make $4,200 a month. So I said, listen, you're thinking correctly. We have such a strong immediate income. I want to show you how to make that $700. Now, are you willing to do what I tell you to do? He goes, absolutely. Direction, listening, and then matching the opportunity to the person I'm talking to. Okay, now, this right here is just the market we're in, but we do have a car program, right? We do have a loyalty and rewards program. We do have stock options. See, this may make people feel somewhat secure if they're used to all the perks and benefits of corporate America. Well, don't we have that here? Sure we do. We have a car program. We have a loyalty program. We have a stock option program. And then finding out, this is finding people's hot buttons. The advancement opportunity here. Paid what you're worth, no glass ceiling. The residual income. I'm going faster now. This is a big part of our opportunity, right? Because this person's done what he's done for 25 years. And I asked this question, why now? He said, because I'm 50. And I'm looking at myself going, I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing. I said, how'd you hear about us? He goes, so-and-so sent me a 2-minute video. She goes, but so-and-so sent me many videos over the years. I wasn't open. I'm open today. See the message she sent? And so-and-so's on the phone with me. And I wanted her to hear that. Sent him many times different opportunity. He wasn't open. He was open that day that he got the video. And so residual income. He who doesn't want to keep trading time for dollars. See, you're not going to maybe hit somebody between the eyes if they're 24 years old with residual income. They think they can conquer the world, right? They think they're invincible. You got to match the opportunity to the people you're talking to. Yes, the book title is The 4 Agreements. Yes, Don Miguel Ruiz is the author. So So you're jumping. Stay with me with where I'm here. Okay, you could do that research later. Stay with me here. Okay, so the residual income. And then this is very real. What we have to offer, the system, the personal and group coaching. You know what people would pay? And well, I know what they pay. Do you know there's personal coaches out there that people will spend $3,000 or $4,000 a month and they don't even get a training every day like some of you do? Think about that. Can you imagine? See, these are points to what you're offering. So Helo has benefits, but it's way beyond that. That's what I was talking about in that video. This is also in your product. Know it and then match it to the person you're talking to, and it betters, listen to my words, betters your chances to get people to want what you have. See, I could do this perfectly with everybody, but doesn't mean the person's going to accept the opportunity. But I do know I did everything correctly. It's up to them to accept it. See, I'm not married to the outcome. I don't care. I'm not married to the outcome. I just know the more I do, the better I'm going to get, because if I get a bad outcome, I still got better doing it, right? Doesn't make a difference, right? If you're in sports and you lost the game, do you learn more from a loss or from a win? You always learn more from a loss. Always. Because I could check and balance. What happened there? Maybe I should have said, and you go through, right, and you make little changes because you're always trying to get better. Okay, so what I want to do, guys, is that's 42 minutes. Let me bring up Fran. I'm going to unmute. Hi, Fran.
Hi, Jeff. Good morning, everyone.
So, Fran, if you would, just tell people where you were and a little bit about the trade show and maybe some tips or pointers of what you learned from that trade show.
Sure, no problem. So one of my distributors, Greg and Marianne Darmstetter, they're down in Houston, Texas. They hosted a trade show at the Home and Garden Show. And they did an outstanding job. They had space that was on a corner of lot, say, of the show. And we really found out a lot by going through this 3-day event. And I really had no experience with a trade show, so this was an eye-opener. And, you know, Greg, if you can hear me afterwards, if you want to add anything to this, feel free. So they said there were going to be about 25,000 people at the show. I'm not quite sure if they met that number. It went from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The first day was more set up. We had some traffic. I think that day we got anywhere from like 12 to 15 leads on Friday. But on Saturday, it was very, very busy. And I believe the total is somewhere around 75 leads that we got from the show, from Saturday. And then on Sunday, I'm not sure the number. I had to leave before it. But, you know, Greg, you might be able to fill in the blanks on that. But one thing I'd recommend to everyone is this. Positioning is key. So we had a corner, but it was really interesting. The event planner of the show would come by our booth, and she would help us with tweaking how we had it positioned. And we were at the end of a row on a corner, and she said, as people walk up the aisle, they typically look right. And ours was on the left. And you know what was across from us? Fudge and candy and beef jerky. So of course, everybody walking up the aisle wanted that. So they're looking to the right. So we're always positioning our signs so that we could get people to look left. When they're coming down the other aisle, we're on the right, but across from us were these unbelievable hot tubs. So people were like, wow, hot tubs, and everybody wanted to go check them out. So I would recommend that if you're going to do a trade show, find out who's going to be across from you on both sides. You always want to have corner positioning because that really is your best traffic. Another thing is the way we had our signs, our banners set up. Initially, we just had like one on each side of the booth. Well, we had another gentleman help us out, and he was very creative, and we put the banners back to back in a corner then of the booth. So really, people could see it from all areas, and that worked really, really well.
Perfect. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Fran.
Okay, I just want to say the other tip I can give, and this was really, really interesting. So we had 2 nurses come by, and believe it or not, one of them actually did EKGs. And she was very, very impressed when we showed her, you know, the device. And I had the Helo on my arm with a watch and a bracelet. And when I ran my EKG, I was showing it to her, she showed me the blips in the EKG, what was happening because I had those bracelets on my wrist. You never want to have a bracelet or anything on the wrist with the Helo. Even though it came out normal at the end, she could see where there were, you know, blips in it, which was really, really interesting. Then we had another guy come by who was a medical technologist, and he was very, very negative because he kept saying, oh, you know, when you go and have an EKG done, there's 5 levels, you know, that have to be done. And, you know, this isn't accurate. And, you know, we just said to him, this is a monitoring tool. We're not saying, you know, that this is a cure-all. If you get, you know, a negative reading, then you go see your doctor. So these were some things, you know, that just came up. We did have an OBGYN doctor come. She was very interested. She really wanted to know the science. And we're just getting back to her with information with that document that we have on the science of it. But all in all, I mean, I was ecstatic. I thought it was great. And like I said, Greg and Marianne did a great job. And Jeff, you may want to just ask Greg for a few of his comments, because I had to fly out by like 5 o'clock, and I had to leave the show like 2 hours before it ended.
All right. Thank you, Fran. Greg, do you have anything to add? Just use your chat. And I can unmute you. No. Okay. All right. So, guys, let me tell you something about the trade shows real quick that I want you guys to know. The purpose of a trade, the purpose of the trade shows is really to get your communication down, because you talk to a lot of people at trade shows. And one thing's for sure, you're going to know how to relay your message in a very short period of time if you do the trade shows correctly. And the other thing is, okay, you want to have, and we could help you. We could do a trade show training too. You always want to have some type of drawing or something that allows people to come by the booth and fill something out. Maybe you give away a free Helo. You do a drawing for a free Helo, whatever it may be. But it gives you that chance while they're filling out just to touch on certain aspects of the business. Because what you're doing at a trade show, guys, is you're fishing. Okay, you're talking about your product. You're talking about the business attached to it. And I've always done a trade show for one reason. I don't try to sponsor everybody. Every time I do whatever it is, I don't care if it's an ad, I don't care if it's cold market, I don't care if it's a trade show, if it's a networking event, I'm looking for one. I'm looking for one. One good one is all I'm looking for. Some people go, I got X amount of leads, which is good, but you know what you're looking for? One. And this keeps you, once again, with the realistic expectations. Okay, we are going ready for a trade show this weekend. Is there anyone that can help us get a loop video ready, as we may not have very good wireless service? Also have a spare one for them to touch. Jeff and Christy sent me an email and I will send you the videos. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, so I guess the answer would be yes. All right, guys, that's the Diamond Zone training today. Hang on. There you go. See, thank you, Greg. See, look at everybody working together. Oh, yes, just kumbaya, everybody. Yeah, kumbaya. Love, love, love. Okay, bye, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.